Hello. I think I was a little bit late. I was over there watching shorts on YouTube, trying to kill time. I think I took a little too much time, but we are not going 5 hours tonight, just so y'all know. And I dare Scooter Mom to come back. She'll probably run away. So I'm just gonna chat until we get some people in. So the reason I put Charles Manson up there too is I was watching John Atack again today, listening to him talking about Charles Manson. I'm definitely doing a short video about Charles Manson and Scientology because up until recently, what I had heard on other channels and even anti-Scientology channels is that he found some Scientology in prison and he dabbled a little bit and that was it. Oh, no, no, no. He did a lot of Scientology before he went to prison, before with the family. He used it, what he learned on the family before the unalivement of those people. So, and even John Atack said people that have done biographies on Manson have said, oh, he did a little bit of Scientology, and they moved on. They didn't delve into it. And they really should. Because so I'm gonna do like I did the Black Magic. It was like 11 minutes. I like to keep it about that length. I'm gonna do a quick one on Charles Manson with a link to the full interview John Atack and Andrew Gold did, talking more about Charles Manson. And wow, I was surprised. So in researching these people, and I don't do a lot of research, I don't look at a lot of stuff. It's easily found if you're looking for it. And I literally only had to watch one or two videos to get a whole lot of information. So I'm going to start. Well, I'm thinking after we're over halfway on Dianetics, and I'm wondering what do we want to do next. I want to keep going with it on Sundays, even after we do the Dianetics. And I thought I would do the Way to Happiness next, or talk to survivors to see what would be the best book next. But I'm seriously thinking about possibly reading Piece of Blue Sky by John Atack. Once I peruse through it. Hey, Psych. Oh, that's okay. You take care of yourself. Yeah. I know how meds are. Trust me. They rule your life sometimes. Well, you get some good sleep, and we'll see you another time. So the next book I was thinking about delving into is possibly A Piece of Blue Sky. Okay. Yeah, you might not you wouldn't want to stay. Last time we were up here for 5 hours. If you can drop by Dianetics tomorrow, feel free. Oh, did you add Minion? Psych on the Rocks Minion? Or did I just not notice that before? So, I'll peruse through it first before, but if it's a really good, John Atack has spent 50 years on Scientology and L. Ron Hubbard. He even said without, any attitude that he was the expert on Scientology. He has done the most research because he didn't just do research. He has taken many, many, many documents and put the documents together and looked at the documents and figured out where they fit in, and letters and things like that. Not just, a surface investigation, because he was in it for 9 years, he said, and he was an OT5. And then he spent time deprogramming people in cults. And he could spend an afternoon with somebody that was in the cult mindset and get them out. That's how well he understood it. That's where I got a lot of my information on L. Ron Hubbard and the Black Magic and Jack Parsons and all that. He knows a lot of the details that I don't think is included in a lot of other information. So, I guess Sundays is like our research day. It's not just really reading, it's reading and discussing and really delving into the person that wrote it, the people that have read it. And so I think I want to get into more less that's the book for that. I don't know that we need to read another Scientology book yet. Maybe later. Or we could read the OT levels, maybe a little bit here and there, because I hear most of it's pretty boring. And I don't know all the books that are out there, so if any of you guys have a recommendation, feel free. But A Piece of Blue Sky, let me bring it up so I can get it free on my Kindle. Because I just went to the Black Magic chapter. I didn't look at the rest of the book. So, and I don't know if I pay extra for Kindle Unlimited or I get it with my Prime. I'm not sure. Where's my Kindle Unlimited for the books? Hello, there you are, hiding. All right, I'm gonna have to change glasses to read. Okay. Let's see. Yep, I put it in my library. There it is. Let's see how long it is and see what the chapters are. So, I don't know. I try to do it. Can't. Oh, it went right to a page. Hang on. Don't do that. Why'd you do that? I wanted to show the front of it. So, kind of see it sideways, but that's okay. Now it actually says, let's sell these people a piece of blue sky, Hubbard, Dianetics, and Scientology. So actually this sounds like a good book. So what I found out today is when they opened up the first center, it had a name, and you know how I am about remembering names. It was Elizabeth something. Right before Hubbard opened the doors, there was like 4 people that were helping him open it up and things, and he turned around and he says, okay, people, let's sell, or no, he said, okay, let's sell these people a piece of blue sky. So he really shows his true colors in just certain comments that he makes. So let's see what the chapters are. This book is dedicated to the memory of my mother, Dora, who left Scientology on the day she was asked if she would disconnect from me. Oh, that's okay. Here we go. So, praise for a piece of blue sky, before the beginning, introduction, preface, what is Scientology? Then part 1, inside Scientology, 1974 to 1983, my beginnings, St. Hill, on to OT, the seeds of dissent. Part 2, before Dianetics, Hubbard's beginnings, Hubbard in the East, the explorer as hero, miraculous magical career. Part 3, the bridge to total freedom, 49 to 66. Building the bridge, the Dianetics Foundation, Wichita, knowing how to know. I've kind of covered all that, not all of that, some of that when we did that Sunday. Hey, Pizza, I was just watching the replay of you and Poet, Brian. I only got to watch a few minutes before I came on, though. So I'll go back and finish that after. And let's see. 66 to 76. Scientology at Sea. Heavy Ethics. Empire Strikes Back. The Death of Susan Mice. Hubbard's Travels. The Flag Land Base. The Guardian's Office. The Commodore's Messengers. The Independence Judgments. And Summing Up. I'm not sure. He's got other books. Maybe I'll look and see if, because we kind of covered quite a bit of this, not in detail. So I was talking about what, yeah, he is. Yeah. I remember when the Never Ends started the channels, and he was there in the beginning. A lot of us were. Let me switch out. I can't see. The screen is just far enough away that my bifocals, well, I can use my bifocals, but you know how that goes. Yeah. Um, yeah, I wrote a lot of poetry in high school. I have a binder. But if you ask me to do it later on as an adult, and I look back on it, some of it's a little corny, but I mean, it sounded good. But it was, you could tell it was written from a very young person's point of view. Waiting for the song, though. What do you mean? Um, but I was just kind of trying to figure out after Dianetics what we're going to read next. I was interested in this book from John Atack. He's like the expert on Scientology. But he has several books, so maybe we could, I don't know, we could jump around maybe instead of reading it all the way through. Oh, I couldn't do that. I couldn't do more than one chat. That's why I can never be anyone's mods. I couldn't do it. I could barely probably handle one person's chat for being a mod. But you do what you got to do. That's fine. Um. Oh wait, why am I opening YouTube? I was looking at Kindle. But he does have quite a bit of good stuff in here that we haven't talked about, like the Commodore's Messengers, the Guardian's Office, and that kind of thing. um, let's see what I'll go through, and I'll look at other books that he's written because he's written several. Um, but I was listening to more of his interviews today while I was driving and learned a whole lot more about Charles Manson. I'm going to do a short video on that because I don't know if you were here yet, but you know, people think that he dabbled in Scientology, maybe in prison, and that was it. He and John Atack even said there are people that have done biographies about Charles Manson or histories, and they say, "Oh yeah, he dabbled in Scientology, and that was it," and they move on, or they don't. It was way more in depth than we think, and it was before the incidents occurred. It was when he was with the family, or right before that. Um, he did 150 hours of Scientology, and he used it on the family. So that's going to be an interesting video. And of course, I always link the longer video to it if you want to see there's a lot more detail. Sometimes I just try to get down to the nitty gritty of it, to the basic, for people that don't have an hour for a long video. But people don't usually start dropping in here till more towards 11. So I'll see when more people are in here. If you think maybe on a Saturday night we should do it at 11 because there's so many other streamers out. Okay. I just picked the time. But it's fine. I don't mind waiting. We all know I can talk at nothing for a long time. I was showing my husband my interaction today. That was interesting. I need to go in and put in the timestamp if anyone wants to go see the spacey girl that I had. My husband said to be careful because she's definitely, now we know definitely she's off her meds, and they can be unpredictable. You know, I said I feel sorry for her. 8 a.m. or 8 p.m. Um, I forgot you were in a different time zone. That's so weird. I got up one morning and the girls in Australia were on. Oh yeah. You're earlier. Oh, I forgot. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, so if I did it an hour later, it would be 9 for you. And I was trying to see who was live right now. It wasn't popping up very well. I just go on YouTube and hit live. I hardly ever go through the sptv.space, which I should. And I just let YouTube let me know who's doing something. Let me try that. sptv.space. I gave a lot of pamphlets out today with the sptv.space on it. Oh, it says I'm live. Confident Chris is live. Ethics and engineering. Not too many. So that's good. But I know on Saturday there was a lot of live stream. People probably get burnt out a little bit. So I know midday Saturday, it doesn't seem to be a good time to go protest as far as online. But man, did I get a lot of people to stop and talk today. It was a lot. I had several before I even went live. Ended up going live late. I had a lot of fun today, and I got a lot of people that knew nothing about Scientology. Almost all almost all of them, except one, I think. They were surprised when I started, spouting off the facts. They were like, really? Because the first question I get is, okay, why are they a cult? They see my sign, it works. People stop, it says, Scientology is a cult, ask me why, and they do. And the first thing I say is, well, religions let you leave and cults don't let you leave. And then, you've all heard my spiel before. So, and I was listening to Nora a little while ago too. She was going over those Guardians office, and I don't know if she was into the OSA document yet or she was just doing Guardians office and talking about how they work their programs. I know. But 2 years ago I didn't know anything. It wasn't on my radar. So I do get it, you know, especially young people now, like the college age. I mean, they have other things to be looking at. And so many of them have no idea who Danny Masterson is. It's so before their time. If they haven't watched reruns, they have no idea who he is. That's the later generation there. Definitely not the kids that are in college right now. Um, I love that show too. He had to ruin it for me. They both did. Both the three of them actually. And even I've heard things about Valderrama too. I forget what Vilmer Valderrama or something like that. Fez. But I did have one person today that said they knew the 70s show. Hey, Cher. What's up? Yeah, way different generation. We were just talking about so many people today that stopped that had no idea what Scientology was. Didn't know hardly anything about it. I think they knew at some point that, leave it alone, but they didn't know any details at all. And I'm like, 2 years ago, that was me too. It just wasn't on my radar. So I can, especially, I was saying, repeating what I just said, especially this younger generation that I'm dealing with at the college. They've got way other things they're on social media doing. So Scientology isn't on their radar either. But I took a lot of those personality test pamphlets today, and I wrote the sptv.space on the back, my channel, and sptvfoundation.org, and I handed several of those out so they could get more information. That worked out really well. So I might have to steal some more from Hitsoul, but I'm not close to being out yet. A lot of kids are focused on themselves. I know I was at that age, yeah. For sure. Me too. Um, Yeah, I think it's cool because I'm giving out their pamphlets with our information on it. And I know they can see me doing it. So, yeah, I'm going to work on, I got to get one of those QR codes that I can put on the sign that they can just take a picture of, and it'll take them to information. That way, if they're interested. So, and a lot of people take a picture of my sign. We're working on my bigger sign, and I want to have a QR code on that too. So when people are taking pictures of it, just for, I don't know why, they probably share it on social media and say, look what they're doing over here, which I hope they are. They might get that QR code in there. So, but yeah, I know people don't tend to really come in till a little bit later, but after last weekend going 5 hours, I said Scooter Mom's probably afraid to come in. I kept her up all night. But I was talking about, I learned a lot about Charles Manson and Scientology today while I was driving, listening to John Atack. And wow, it's amazing what you find out when you listen to the right person that's done, some serious investigation. Because he didn't just research LRH's. He was in it, of course, but he has taken a lot of documents and gone through documents and put those together to figure things out. And it's really cool. So that's why I said we can talk anything from aliens to Charles Manson tonight. Whatever we want to talk about is fine. I thought about there was a Y-Files I watched. There was a link. Did you email me a link? You know what? I'm going to bring it up right now while I got you, because I'm not standing on the street. Let me find it. All right. Because, I forget. If I don't write it down, I forget. So, is that on YouTube or just Google it? Or Netflix? Dorothy, is that? Oh, yeah. The contact. Oh, yeah. There's the book. Let me do documentary. Documentary. Dun, dun, dun. Found it. Prime Video. Okay. Got it. All right. Put it on the watch list. I will watch it. Probably watch it tonight. Thank you. I found it. So, yeah, I found it. I got it on my watch list on Prime. So, I'm definitely going to watch that. It's like I was saying, I don't have live TV. So, things like that. I like documentaries, history, all that. You could tell with the Dianetics and all that. So, I had always wanted to do like not a major, but maybe a minor or take classes on religious studies. I was interested in psychology research. I wanted to study the brains of serial killers. That was in the 80s before I wanted to be a school teacher. Back before they've already figured out, yeah, there's something different in their brains. They've done MRIs and stuff on it. So that research has been done now. But I thought that back then I thought that would be so interesting. Because I had met somebody, I've met two people now. One was a child. When you can see that something is missing. That they're born, it's not anything they did. I just think, because we have defects sometimes, and you could just tell they were missing something. And that always intrigued me. I always wanted to see what that meant. Um, But a lot of people have. I used to watch a lot of true crime before the SPTV stuff, and there was one especially. She said she always tried to research if they had had a childhood head injury, and many of them had. And she said it's not an excuse, but it gives us an insight as to why they may be doing what they're doing. And I think I agree with that can happen. I think it's if they damage the frontal lobe, or there's a part of the brain that if you damage it, you have no empathy, or you lose empathy or emotion and things like that. Have you guys ever watched The Expanse? It was a series. I need to finish it. I was almost done with it and got sidetracked and forgot to go back. There was a guy on that show that had a childhood head injury, and he knew he didn't on his own, he couldn't decipher right from wrong. So what he would do is he would attach himself, he would watch people. And if he found somebody that was a good person, that did the right things, people looked up to, he would attach himself to them and follow their lead. And they would help him not do the wrong things. And so he knew that he had an issue, and he figured out a way to fix that issue. I thought that was cool. I know it's just a character on the show, but I thought that was pretty cool. Like, to show a different kind of person and what they go through and why. I just thought it was neat. I thought it was a neat character, a neat storyline for a character. And it took me a little while to figure out what was going on with him. They don't tell you this right away. You kind of got to figure him out. And you realize, so I think he had somebody. There was a guy, I think his captain of his ship, maybe. And when he died, he was lost because he had always followed that guy's lead. Well, then he found another person finally. Yeah, he figured out how to fit into society. Hey, Papa Smurf, what's up? Yeah. I'm just babbling as usual. Um, I don't know how many we're gonna get in tonight. It doesn't matter to me. Like I said, I can chat at a glass door with nobody in my chat. I was telling my husband before he went to work today, because I was talking about it during my live stream. I said, how much is having the beertology? Yeah, I'm not doing that this time. I had a few too many last time. I slept good though. My husband came home and all the caps were on the counter. I'm still trying to fit into society. Yeah, I think we all are to some extent. I really don't do anything with society, really. I'm, Tom and I became very antisocial once we were empty nesters. Just so finding this community and finding uh, what I guess the protesting, you know, I would just be sitting here, like maybe doing my crafts, but we live very, very far from family because he retired out of the army here, so our family's far away. Our kids are far away at the moment. One's in school and one's in California, and we stopped having friends many decades ago. I talked about you earlier. I said Scooter Mom probably doesn't want to come here tonight. She's probably going to run away. So, but yeah, I was just talking about how antisocial my life would be, was, still is, on the days I'm not in Austin. So, and I'm hoping, I am worried about, because the fibro affects my brain so much, I'm deathly afraid of the Alzheimer's and the dementia. So, anything that can engage my brain, I'm happy about. I was not stuffy till I started talking. My job doesn't require me to have contact with humans, but my night job is basically a chauffeur with mud boots telling grown men where to shoot. Oh no. Sounds like fun though. Yeah. I never did get to go hunting. We had a coon dog. My stepdad was into that, but never took me. I was the girl. The sons got to go. I wonder why. You didn't have a wrench before, Scooter Mom? Did I neglect you? I'm sorry. I will next time we're on YouTube. And it's not to be my mod. I know that's not why I do it. Oh no, no, we're not singing. No. Diana was singing while I was trying to read Dianetics last Sunday. She she put a song in my head. I was like, no, you need to not be doing that. Oh, and past backgrounds. I did. That's why I'm like, I tell Scientology, I'm like, yeah, come at me. You ain't got nothing on me. I don't have a job. I don't have my grandkids. And I've had 2 security clearances, so there's nothing in my background to find. I mean, my last job, not only that, they wanted to look at my credit report too, make sure I couldn't be bribed. My credit report was bad at that time, so I'm still there. I can't rent from, as far as I can tell, from StreamYard. Yeah, I have to do it on YouTube. And I use StreamYard when I'm at home, and I just go through YouTube when I'm on the street. My employer looked at everything. Yeah, they looked at all my stuff. It's kind of embarrassing. But my first security clearance, I was 17, because I went in the army on my 17th birthday. And the job I was in, it wasn't a high security clearance. It was like basic. Because I was in commo, and we had to be in charge of the security net on the radios. So you had to have a security clearance for that, because we had codes and stuff that we had to keep uh, quiet. She won't let me sing him for fish. No songs, no songs. I don't want anything stuck in my head. They were talking about, on that interview I watched, they were talking about the song Helter Skelter. And then they got into talking about Paul McCartney's voice. Kind of like we do, go off to side notes. Y'all ever seen a video of a song called The Butt Machine? No. No. How have I not heard about that? Is that on YouTube? I'm going to look that up. I'm a Google in full. I'm like, I look everything. Oh, let me look that up. Um, Video. I'm getting exercise equipment. Maybe I should have been more specific. Video song. Yeah, that's better. Song by that one guy. Album The Moon is Disgusting. Oh my gosh. I will listen to this later, y'all. You gotta look this up. It's called Butt Machine, one word. Is that it? Oh, this is the silly stuff on the internet now. Goodness. I don't know what we would have done if we would have had social media when I was in high school. Because, dang. Been around a while. It's a happy song. Okay. I'll watch it. I'll check it out. I can't do it right now. I might get copyrighted. Manson bases his unalivements on that song. Yeah. And thinks the whole... Yeah. That's what they were talking about. Because the question was, did the song come first? Or did Manson, what he did, come first? And I think the song came first. He built the instrument. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I think he said the song came first. Let me find out. Song by the Beatles. Yeah, because it came out in 68, and I think what Manson did was in 69. That stuck in my head because that's the year I was born. Yeah. Yeah. He thinks, yeah. They were talking about that on the interview with Andrew Gold and John Atack. They had a conversation about the album and the song, and he thought, and he even got into detail on things that were in the album or in some of the songs, and how he married that up with things around him, like names and stuff. And he made it, oh well, yeah, this there was a girl's name in a song, and he knew a girl with that name, you know. Yeah, he thought he was Jesus Christ too, the second coming. And he actually, from what John Atack said, he got that from studying Scientology and doing the past life regression. There's a good film called Charlie, says, with Matt Smith, who was Doctor Who played. Really? Wow. Wow. I love Matt Smith as Doctor Who. That'll freak me out. It's freaking me out that he's in House of the Dragon. But he may be my favorite Doctor Who. Him and David Tennant's really close. Charlie movie, Matt Smith. Wow. Wow. I'm looking at the trailer. He looks so weird. I'm showing the girls. Oh, there he is. Wow, that's freaky. That guy was freaky enough, but now Matt Smith is in. Ooh. Nope, no hiccups tonight. I do get hiccups when I drink beer every time. I do. I was like, no, not tonight, not in the mood. Manson became friends with Dennis Wilson. I'd heard that before. Manson was mad when the Beach Boys reworked the song. Yeah, that he wrote a song. I know. Yeah. John Atack, man, he's really into that stuff. He knows all of it. Hey, Cinderella. You've been busy today too. I see sometimes all day we follow each other in different chats. um I jumped in last night. I saw, what was it? Drinks, joints, and crafts. I'm like, what does that look like? I had just sat down from getting home, and they were like, somebody, one of the mods said, do you want to come in? I was like, no, I am a sweaty, gross mess. I need to go get in the bath. I was just resting for a few minutes. It is so hot here. It's September. Really? No. FYI, after today, I am enjoying some wine. Okay. Come on in and enjoy with us. You can with your phone and YouTube. Oh, yeah. I can. You're right. I can. Hold on. I gotta switch accounts. Let's see. Switch. Let's see. Can I go into what I'm doing right now, though? I can. Here it is. Told me. Yeah, Eric. Yeah. He's pretty cool. Wow, I didn't know that about Dennis Wilson. That's sad. I know he had problems, but I love the Beach Boys. I love stuff like that. Jan and Dean, I like them too. Yeah. Man, me and my daughter went out on her birthday a few years ago. That was a weird night. It wasn't our fault. We were having a great time, but one of her friends, was a nutbag and kind of ruined the whole evening. But for the first part, it was fun. Oh, you're great. That was my favorite song. You're trying to put that in our head. You are. You're an instigator, Papa Smart. But yeah, this stuff the stare. I wrote it down. John Atack said the Manson stare. He learned that in Scientology. It was a way to get people. Um, it's so hard to remember because I'm gonna have to go through it again a couple more times to write it all down so I can do a video on it. But the Manson stare he learned in Scientology training, how to stare at somebody and get them to like do what you want them to do. So he learned some of his control tactics from Scientology. Um, oh, something I found out today. So John Atack's book is called A Piece of Blue Sky. Well, when he was opening the first Dianetics Center, um, the very first one, I guess, he turned around to the four people that was helping him. I don't know if they all heard it, but this one guy did. And he said, okay, folks, let's sell them a piece of blue sky. That every time I hear comments like that, I know that L. Ron Hubbard didn't believe any of his BS. That he knew it was all BS. I can tell Kim how to ban words. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't done that yet. I haven't had to. Wouldn't it be nice? Yeah, that's a good song. I had a 65 Mustang, and that's that. I love playing the Beach Boys and Janadine and stuff when I was driving it. And then I had a 2007 Mustang because it was the first year since the 60s that they came out with a Mustang that looked like the 60s Mustangs. But then they had them for a few years, and then they got smaller and silly looking again, like the 90s ones. I was so mad. Snitches get stitches scooter. A cop near beat the life out of Manson, and the cop got in trouble for it. And I can imagine. And one of the, I think it was Tate, the woman, or I'm not sure which one it was, but they were not the people he was targeting. Those people had left, and these people had moved into the house. So it was just an accident that they were even on his radar. Like I said, I can't remember details like that. I can't remember names and stuff, but I do remember that part. I really enjoyed it on Alex's channel. A guy named Nigel, who was friends with L. Ron Wright when he was forming. Ooh, that's a good one, because I've watched like 3 of Andrew's interviews with John Atack now, and that's where I've gotten a lot of this. So let me write it down. You know, I have to write it down. I will forget. Okay, Nigel and Andrew Gold. And Andrew. Okay. Good deal. By the way, yeah, Sharon Tate was 9 months. Yeah, yep, I know. I think she was the one that they were in the wrong. They had just moved into a house or were renting it from somebody, and it was the owners of the house or the previous tenants that he was actually targeting. Yeah, I watched documentaries on that. I was gonna say something, just went right out of my head. I forget what I was gonna say now. Oh, I was gonna ask you guys something. Well, okay, so since I got a few more people on here now, I was trying to figure out. That's how I got into this a little bit. What to read after Dianetics, because we're more than halfway through. And at first, I thought we'd go into another Scientology book or something. But I was looking at John Atack's book, A Piece of Blue Sky, and I have it on Kindle. And I was going through the chapters, and it might be a book we don't need to read all the way through, because we've kind of, when we did the how he started Dianetics and stuff, and did a little bit of L. Ron Hubbard background, we've kind of done some of that. But he's got Commodore's Messengers in there. So, or if you guys have a suggestion, I thought we might do Way to Happiness book, but I think that's something small I could probably read on my own. But if you guys have a suggestion on what we want to read next, I'm going to keep going with the Sunday readings. Hey, Retired Red. Went away from them, but wasn't even there. Well, he was the ringleader and got him to do it all. So I'm glad he did, because I was saying how he learned how to control from Scientology, or some of it. How are you doing this evening? 4 hours of modding. Who did 6 hours of modding? I must have missed that. Ooh, Scooter Mom. Wow, you're dedicated. I was saying I can't even mod one. Maybe a small chat like this I could, but man, mods on those, the faster, bigger chats, I don't have I couldn't do it. And then I know I've seen some of you that have more than one device and are doing more than one mod. Wow. See, that's the kind of stuff I can't do. Standing on the street and talking to people, I can do that. That's my calling. But like, um, so I was watching Nora's stream. It wasn't recent. I'm trying to get caught up with her, and it just went out of my head again. I get stuffy and it gets hard to think. Let me hit the nasal spray. I don't know if it'll help. It usually doesn't once I'm already stuffy. Oh, I hope that helps. Pizza, it was raining the whole time. It's making me sleepy and have to pee. Who was getting rained on? Were they in the rain? Oh, I meant to ask. Oh, you said something. Snitches get stitches. Hecklefish says that all the time. Share it was constantly hearing the water. Oh my gosh. I max out at 3 lives. Wow. But I'm not as fast as I used to be. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I certainly couldn't do it. You guys. I tell you, Papa Smurf is an instigator. I've seen him on other channels. You're an instigator. You guys. But yeah, if you got any, keep it in mind. Think about it for a little while. What? Because we've got time to figure out what we're going to read next. Um, or what I could finally do. Because Dynex, I really wanted to delve into. I was thinking about skipping around in that, but you really can't. But maybe in like Piece of Blue Sky, maybe we could just read some of the chapters and not the whole thing. Or I could go through it and pick out, key points instead of reading every page, which was my plan with Dianetics to start. But realized because of the way he writes and the way that he explains things, you can't skip. Because if you do, you're not going to understand what he says in a later chapter. Yeah. I'm a saint. That's why I'm called Saint Papa. Yes, I heard that. Yeah. She can get you. Better watch out. Um. Yeah. But people like Charles Manson, that's what in high school, my commander in ROTC, he was a psychology major, and I had him for study hall. We used to have these with a group of us, these deep conversations. And Manson was one of those that made me want to possibly go into psychology, but not to be like a therapist. I wanted to go into research. I've told you guys that a lot. Some of you know this. I wanted to study the brains of criminals and see. And this was the 80s. They've already done that now, but we really didn't have that information back then. And it just intrigued me about people like that. That's probably why I'm so interested in L. Ron Hubbard and reading the book and kind of getting into his mind a little bit. Because I was kind of interested in that kind of thing anyway. Kim is lenient, unlike you, Scooter. I am a little more lenient than most. As long as you don't get too out of hand. My Irish charm. Yeah, that's true. Oh, what time is it for you, Papa Smurf? Aren't you up late? I bet you love Criminal Minds. Yeah, I didn't actually watch it, the whole series, though. But when I did, yeah. Yeah, I liked that show. I'm watching Person of Interest right now. I decided to start it. Um, but I didn't watch a lot of dramas. Like, it was hit or miss. Same thing with, I would watch Law and Order, but not like consistently. Ooh, Papa Smurf. Wow, you got us beat even last week. Scooter was up till 4. I was up till 3. Ooh, I don't think I'll be able to do that again for a while. Excuse me. Uh, will bring down the hammer when she needs to. Yeah. I'm okay, like, if we're talking for real, like, when we're in the chat. If they're just having a dissenting opinion, I don't care. It's just if they're being rude or gross or something. No. Because Nora said that today on her stream. I was watching. Oh, I was going to bring that up, which one I was watching. Because she was going over documents that Mike Rinder put on his blog. Um, from the Guardian's office and then Office of Special Affairs, and going through their programs. It's very interesting. Let me look on. What are they hiding? Because she has several I need to get caught up on, and I still have to watch Scooter Report from Friday. And I didn't even know I was on Natalie's channel. Woo. I was trying to find something else in her list from a couple days ago, and it said me, and I was like, so then I had to watch it. I watch her on 1.5 speed when I'm replaying. I watch most people on one, or not 1.5, 1.25. I can't do 1.5, 1.25. Aaron is about the only person I can't. He talks kind of fast already. Sometimes I do. That's how I get so much on. I like the CSI with Hetty. I watched the first CSI, and then I did watch some of the Miami, but again, not consistently. Before there was on demand and you had to watch it live or have a recorder, I was terrible at being consistent. And I'm more of a sci-fi person as far as TV goes. Like, if it was Star Trek or something like that, I didn't miss a show. Yeah, the Vegas was the first one, wasn't it? Yeah, I was always sad to see when their people would leave. It only tapped out at 26, so that's not too bad. I don't know if I saw did I see the finale? I can't remember. And like I said, Miami, I only watched sporadically here and there. Like, I was never. Oh, bye, pizza. See you later. Have a good rest of your weekend. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm probably not going to be able to stay too much longer myself. I did back to back days. I did 3 hours yesterday, then my drive. And then I did 2 hours today. I try not to do back to back days, but it just sometimes it ends up that way. But I'm definitely going to be out Wednesday around 6:30. They're having that open mic night. I'm going to make sure I'm there for that. And I'm not on a time limit on Wednesday night. My husband's off. So, because I thought we showed up for that seminar today thinking they'd, bamboozled some students into coming in and taking the seminar. Didn't see anybody. Hitzel said she saw a couple people go in on the side, I didn't see hardly anybody. It was really kind of sad. Manning 8 was in the rain in Boston all afternoon, evening. He's going to get electrocuted by lightning. It's not, I don't mind rain either. I mind the lightning. That's what scares me. It drove me crazy on how Miami guy always stood side by side. I know he was a character. He was intense for sure. Yes, he is. I know. Gosh, that boy's nuts. Wow. And it worries me too where I'm at. I've got all these metal poles and stuff around me. Manning and Cubs were in the rain. Oh my goodness. Because I was out one day in a mist. Yeah. I still got Dianetics tomorrow. I don't sleep a lot though. It's really not that big a deal because of the fibro messing with if I get 3 straight hours, I'm ecstatic. If I get 5 straight, 5 altogether hours, I'm happy too. So I can go on very little sleep. Oh, I don't know what's going on. It's the allergies. It was getting my husband yesterday. He said he took a Zyrtec and it made him tired all night at work. But if he didn't take the Zyrtec, he can't see it because my eyes are starting to water too. Over the piece of blue sky. I know, it sounds really good. Did you hear me go over the chapters or was that before you got here? Because I have it on Kindle Unlimited for free. And I was going through the chapters. Um, because I already have it in my library because I used the Black Magic chapter for the video, but you can't see it. Oh, it did it again. Okay, so this is the content. So, part 1, Inside Scientology. Now, he was in for 9 years, so it's my beginning. So, 1974 to 1983. My beginning, St. Hill, onto OT, Seeds of Dissent. Then, before Dianetics, Hubbard's beginnings, Hubbard in the East, Hubbard the Explorer, Hubbard is hero, his miraculous recovery, his magical career. That's the chapter I used. Part 3, The Bridge to Total Freedom, 1949-1966. Building the Bridge, Dianetics Foundations, Wichita, Knowing How to Know, the religion angle. So that's probably more than even we went over when we did the history of the Scientology or Dianetics. And then the Sea Organization, and he does it part 5, the Guardian's Office, part 6, the Commodore's Messengers, part 7, the Independents, the Mission Holders, part 8, Judgment, Scientology at Law, the child custody case, signing the pledge, dropping the body after Hubbard. So this sounds like, if you guys don't want to read it word for word, maybe I could go through it and just pick out, good parts and we could just talk about it. That'd be up to you guys if you want to read it word for word or not. That, like I said before, good night, Cher. On the sunglasses. I know that was trippy. What on earth is piece of blue sky? So John Atack is like the expert on Scientology. He's spent 50 years studying it and writing about it. He was in for 9 years. And what he does is more than a lot of people do. He has taken all the documents and gotten a lot of information from documents, letters, things like that. So A Piece of Blue Sky was, I think, the first book that he wrote about Scientology. And the reason it's called that is when Hubbard was about to open the doors on the first Dianetics Center, he turned to his colleague, I don't know who it was, I can't remember, and he says, okay, let's sell them a piece of blue sky. So when I hear L. Ron Hubbard had said things like that, I know without a doubt L. Ron Hubbard never believed one bit of his BS ever. He didn't. He knew, and even John Atek said that too. Him and he said people like him. They know they're bad people. They know, but they don't care. Yeah, I just used it actually. That's Flo. This is Flonase. It's off-brand Flonase. It's the only one that ever works for me. Uh, yeah, I think everybody's kind of yeah. But yeah, he knew. And then when I found out, we used to think us never ends that maybe Tom Cruise didn't know exactly what was going on, and people asked Aaron that question. Aaron kind of did a little bit different path than some of the people we listened to, and he said that at times he wasn't sure, but then we find out that David Miscavige gave Sea Org members to Tom Cruise to use on his property as slave labor. Like, here's a gift. They probably thought it was great. They could get out of the org and do something cool. But, so as soon as I found that out, I was like, oh, hell no. That guy knows exactly what's going on. And I have no good opinion of that guy anymore. Yeah, Vegas was the OG. So, yeah. Once I heard that, I was like, you thought maybe he, it depended on who you were listening to at the time. As an Everin, you think, well, maybe he was friends with Miscavige and he didn't see what was going on down here because, they even get special entrances. But I know he didn't know when he said he wanted to join the Sea Org. Narcissist, in my opinion. Oh, yeah. Tom Cruise, David Miscavige, L. Ron Hubbard, all birds of a feather. Totally. So, you know what, guys? I'm going to poop out too. We've been on here for an hour. And my allergies are just wigging on me. So, but like I said, I think A Piece of Blue Sky would be a good book to read next instead of trying to find another Scientology book. And we'll talk more during Dianetics. Like, do we want to read it word for word, or do you want me to just paraphrase when I find a good spot, a good part of the information? We can do both, either or, whichever. Thanks for dropping by, you guys. I wish I wish I was. I'm just not in it tonight. So, yeah, I hear it's all over. Well, I'll be here tomorrow at 3 with the Dianetics. We're gonna do 2 chapters. The second one is an auditor's role. I'm really interested in that chapter. So, hey, Gail. Oh, I hope you didn't just pop in, Gail, because I'm leaving now. There was no lightning, and he had an umbrella and a jacket. He was okay. Well, good. I'm glad. Oh, TC. Yeah. Yeah. My allergies are kicking my butt, so I'm gonna have to go. But if you're, I'll be here tomorrow at 3 p.m. Central for Dianetics. Like I said, I was saying, the second chapter is an auditor's role, and I'm really interested in reading that one. So good night, you all, and I'll see you tomorrow. If not, have a good rest of your weekend. Oh, sorry, Gail. Glad you were here for a minute. Good night.